Him and I did with Margo, which she's amazing. They were so good, dude. It was like the first time that I've been in a film where I just...
Well, this character is a lot more scared than I was. I'm lucky enough to come from an amazing family and have a father that was my hero my whole life. So I've always wanted to be a dad. So I wasn't scared to be a dad. I think that what I related to greatly, because my daughter was only 4.5 months old when we shot this, and if we had shot it 5 months before, I would have been telling a totally different story. So, I mean, I think what really I connected to is, yes, the sort of existential mirror that's held up when you have a baby and changes your whole life. I understood that better. But really what I felt I added to this movie was this huge existential magnet that you have, being pulled more closer to your parents. You understand your parents better. I understand my brothers better. I understood what it meant to be from a family name. All those really big, heavy things. So I was probably working a lot of stuff out in this movie.
Would you say playing Sally in the Hollars compares to the Emmy-winning roles you portrayed recently in Darker Dawn with like The Americans and Justified?
Well, Sally's a little more normal. A little more, yeah, Sally's who she is. And so is Max Bennett, but Claudia's not who she is.
And one of the film's highlights is how authentically maternal your scenes with John feel throughout the movie. Did you and John do anything to prepare, or was that chemistry present from the get?
Chemistry from the get. I mean, we met each other in 2000 doing a commercial, and it was instant chemistry then.
Throughout the film, your character attempts to shield your family from dying. What was it like to portray someone afraid of this terrifying illness, but concealing it from them and by extension the audience?
Just trying to stay positive and with a smile on, and to be to not go to that place, and keeping that out of your mind, and until you have to.
And what was it like working with John as a director?
It's seamless going from John as a director to John as an actor back to a director. It was the same person.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
It was an interesting challenge because I didn't want, because he's the guy that pushes the envelope the most on like the level of crazy stuff that he do, I didn't want to end up being in a different, relatively for me, he's quite a normal character, you know, in relation to stuff that I do. But the script allowed a lot of things to be very grounded in reality. So the idea, for example, that you would go to an ex-wife if you were missing her and your kids, and you might drive your car past their house, is most people could relate to that idea, you know. Then with this character and in the movie, you just push that a little more, you know, somebody who would sort of stop the car outside the house. It's getting a little more weird. And then with Ron, you know, if he's looking through with binoculars to kind of try and see the guy in the house, that was the sort of edge we gave him, where it's like, okay, I feel that I can feel why he would do it, but it's a heightened little bit of reality, you know, where it's just he goes that extra mile, so you have a balance of, it's an authentic situation, an authentic emotion, with a little bit of comedic flair added on top.
Throughout the film, you and Richard Jenkins have some father-son squabbles that occasionally get physical. What was it like to play those scenes together, and did you ever worry about accidentally hurting him?
I did worry about it until we did the first take, and he just kind of went for me, and I just thought, oh, okay, so that's how it's going to be then. You know? I thought he was going to be gentle, you know, he's an old guy, be gentle. Was not needed. He was quite fine, yeah.
And while many in America may know you primarily from action-heavy films like District 9 or Elysium, not many have gotten a chance to see your comedic skills. What was the concept of doing a role like this? Something you'd always planned to do, or one that took you by surprise?
I'd been looking for it. I'd been hoping that I could find a movie that was a little more straight dramatic comedy like this, and so I've been open to it. Finally doing a movie that my mom can watch, which I'm quite excited about. You know, she's always like, do you die in this one? Who do you kill? I'm like, Ma, in this one I actually come off pretty well, relatively speaking.
I mean, the one thing is you can't pass one off. You know, you can't say, I'm going to take a break, you take the baby. Now there's two, so if you pass one off, you're just getting the other one, which is really fun.
And how has it been moving to New York now? What have you guys?
Oh my God, we've absolutely loved it. I'm from the East Coast. I think I always knew that I'd come back to the East Coast at some point. Emily's from London, obviously, so we're closer to her family. And again, I think this movie had a lot to do with it. I think that we realized even more so that we needed to be close to family. And it's been amazing. I mean, I absolutely love it. Well, I learned a whole lot watching, as an actor, watching these two. I mean, when you watch Margo Martindale and Richard Jenkins especially, I mean, Anna Kendrick's phenomenal, Sharlto's phenomenal, Charlie's phenomenal, Mary Elizabeth's phenomenal, everybody is. But I think that the younger actors were watching the more experienced actors and saying, there's no way we're going to be able to do that.
Which ice cream flavor goes best with pretzels?
It's vanilla. We did a taste test.
You did a taste test?
Yes. It might have been just me doing the taste test, I can't remember, but we did the taste test.
What was it like to direct with that?
You know what's funny? This one was actually not only easier to direct, but it was almost necessary for me to act and direct because it's a very intimate movie. I think the truth is we can all say we've seen a lot of family movies, and a lot of them don't really do it for you. So I personally feel I don't love a lot of them because they feel manipulative. This one feels so real, and the key to that for me was making sure that the family felt real and organic. So for me, you know, getting to be in the scene as an actor, I hardly ever called cut. We would just do takes over and over and just talk to each other. So we were sort of in this safe little bubble a lot more. It was almost like we were doing a play.
The film did an impressive job of using its visuals to capture and evoke the feeling of a small American town. What was the process like collaborating with your cinematographer and crew to create this visual language for the film?
Good question. It's actually a great question. I mean, the effect of this crew is it's enormous. I mean, to be honest, I got a crew that I definitely didn't deserve. I got a crew I definitely couldn't afford, but a whole lot of people read the script, loved it, and wanted to come and be a part of this. And I'll always be incredibly grateful. But the truth is, no one can ever believe what our budget was once they see the movie because our DP and our production designer made it look like a much bigger movie. So I love them for it.
Did you have a tire swing?
We had a tire swing somewhere near where I was, but not over a lake. I wish mine was over a lake. That way when the rope break broke, I'd fall into water. Where I was from, you fell on a lot harder stuff. About the what? When I go back to Boston? Everybody's really nice about it. You know, I was saying this movie is very emotional and a lot of people cry, and I say you don't have to worry, I cry at everything. I think my nickname was Baby John until I want to say 12, but it might have been 20, I can't remember. All my cousins used to call me Baby John, so I feel like when I go home, I'm just Baby John again, so nobody really treats me any different, which I love.
What inspired you to do that?
Nothing inspired. I got asked to do that one. Luckily, I think 13 Hours was a huge transformational moment for me, both physically and also in my career. And this amazing woman, Amy Powell, who runs TV at Paramount, saw an early screening of 13 Hours and said, I think that's our Jack Ryan. So she came to me, and the guy who's running Jack Ryan is Carlton Cuse, who's a genius. And he just pitched to me that this 10-episode format, this longer storytelling, is actually going to be better for Jack Ryan, seeing as though they're very articulate, long, drawn-out books. Yes. What do you mean? I don't look like it? Come on. How dare you? No, I'm not as big as I was in 13 Hours, obviously, because that would be insane. I'd just scare my children. But instead, I've stayed working out since that movie because I remember Chris Pratt saying once he got there, he never wanted to go back, and I totally understand what he means. It's like, why would you give it all up after you did that? But it also helps a lot to pick up 2 kids at a time. You don't throw your back out when you've been working out.
All right, guys, last question.
I would love to direct another project. My first project was very different than this. It was a much more art house type movie, and this is my first linear movie, and you know, very. It was really, really special to me. But I think the next one will be even different. I think it will be as different as the first one was to the second one. Will be the next one. Maybe. Thank you guys. Thank you.